Hello, good morning and happy Monday. I hope everyone is doing well. Today I have a garden update, and towards the end of the video I'm going to show you how to utilize and maximize your garden if you're working with a small space. So be sure to watch to the end of the video to find out how to do that. Also, please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Okay, now on to the update. So, over the weekend I went to Lowe's and I picked up a couple of things because I had some holes that needed to be just some empty spaces where some things had died last year because it was so hot and I just couldn't keep up with all the watering and all that stuff. It's a pretty common occurrence. I seem to lose things every year. So, as you can see, I've got this new little pink guy here, and I put one here. And then I had some ornamental grass here, and I just kind of chopped that off because it was looking really sloppy and I didn't like it. Next year I'm probably going to move that out of there and put it someplace else. This little flower here, which is a Rudbeckia, I think is what it's called. I really liked it. The color is so pretty, I think. Just really, really bright. Goes with my house. And then this stuff in the back here, which is I don't know how well you can see that, but it's a phlox. It's got pink flower on it back there. It's going to get pretty tall and it's going to spread out, so I was happy about that. I wanted something with a little bit of height because most of the stuff back here isn't that tall. It grows about 12 inches or so. 24 maybe is about the tallest any of these plants get. That Rudbeckia should get pretty big too over time. These little ones up here, this is a dianthus, and that's just a mounding perennial. I couldn't find any of these guys. They didn't have these anymore, so I don't know if they had those this year or if they were out, but I thought that these dianthus were a nice mix in with that. So those should grow and get bigger next year too. So I really wanted stuff like this salvia here is pretty tall, and I was hoping to accomplish that with what I had planted in previous years with these mums, but these mums don't get very tall. They like maybe 24 inches at most. What I should have done is put some coneflower back in there, but I think that phlox is going to do pretty nicely. It should get big and spread out in the next couple of years, so I think it's going to look really nice when it gets there. And then I just kind of did the same thing over here because I had some gappy spots, and this salvia was kind of like taking over everything. I don't know how many of you have salvia in your flower beds, but if you don't know, when you plant it, it will spread everywhere if you don't keep it under control. So it just kind of it just gets really out of control, and it can cover the other plants, and then they don't have the sunlight to be able to thrive, and then they die also, which is part of the problem in my back beds. Is I planted salvia back there, and then I just kind of let it go. So I'm trying to sort of correct that problem now and add some things back there and whatnot. So anyways, that's the front beds. So now I will take you out back and show you all the vegetables and how big everything is getting back there. So I will see you in a little bit. I'll meet you up back. Okay, so here we are in my backyard. I guess we'll just start with the sunflowers and the corn. Everything back here is getting pretty big. Really excited about that. I had these in a different area last year, and they just didn't do as good there. I just don't think there was enough light. So I moved them over here. Plus I had been having problems with squash bugs. This is normally where I put my zucchini, and I had squash bugs really bad last year, so I decided to rotate my crops this year to see if I could remedy that problem. I also, with my viney plants here, used eggshells before I planted everything to act as a pest deterrent. So I just ground up a bunch of eggshells, and then I just put a little handful in before I put the plants in. Everything seems to be doing pretty good so far. So here's my watermelon. they're getting pretty big. I decided not to stake these guys. I am trying to be frugal this year. I didn't want to have to go get more supplies, so I just used what I had from last year as far as dowel rods for making tripods. So I didn't do the watermelon and I didn't stake the pumpkins, but I did stake all the cucumbers. You can see this guy's doing really good. This guy in the back over here is kind of struggling. I'm not sure if maybe it's not getting enough light. They get pretty good light in the morning, and then they get a little bit of light in the afternoon. And then this guy over here, I think somebody has been munching on this one. I spotted a groundhog in my yard the other day, and he was just kind of running across the yard, and I saw him and he saw me and he got really freaked out, and then he just jetted under the fence. So I don't know if he's been around or if that was him. It could have been. I get chipmunks and squirrels in here too, so it could have been one of them. But so these are the gourds, decorative gourds, and this is pumpkin. These are just getting so big. So that's that for those. And then over here, this was some stuff I planted last year, and I'm not sure it's gonna make it. It's not looking real good, but this little guy over here is Mandevilla, I think is what it's called. It's a tropical plant, I think. And I picked this guy up at Lowe's too, but I got it for free because it was in the discount section. And I went early in the morning, and the cashier that was helping me, I was using the self-checkout, and the computer wouldn't register. So the lady that was helping me couldn't figure out how to get it to work, so she just told me that I could take the plant. So I thought that was really cool. I will take as many fruit plants as you want to give me, you know? So that's about it for that over there. My hostas are growing. They're pretty big. Can't even see that lily back there. So this is the front back bed, and I think the last video I made, the salvia in here was out of control. I've trimmed a lot of it down, and I have some holes that I need to fill up, and I'm gonna do that probably with some seed packets. I think I mentioned that in the last video. Those probably won't bloom this year, but they'll bloom next year. Some of them take a whole year to bloom. They'll sprout like leaves and whatever, but they won't bloom. So I just kind of cleared everything out in here over the weekend. And now you can see the other flowers that are in here. Like, I don't know, but I think that might be a coneflower. I'm not positive. This is just a mum of some sort. And then I got some other things back here that are hopefully going to start getting bigger and growing. I'm not sure what that is right there. That's some sort of like, I want to say it's probably like in the Delphinium or Larkspur family, something like that. I've got something back there that will get red flowers on it. These were lilies. I think those little ones at the bottom, they may still bloom, but the big ones, they're done for the season, I think. So that's the front back bed. I'm excited to see what it's going to look like when everything starts filling in. And then let's go back over here to this bed. I'm not really happy with the way things are looking with this. My blackberry bush is doing amazing. I decided I'm not going to cut those stalks off of there. They seem to be doing pretty good for as like supports. Plus I haven't looked for my trimmers yet, so I'm just gonna let that go. Something really cool over here is that this salvia is starting to turn white, and I thought that was really cool because I haven't seen that. I didn't know that came in white, so I thought that was pretty cool that that's turning white. from the purple. And as you can see, I cleared this out this weekend too, and it's looking pretty sparse, but I've got some things that in there already planted that will hopefully grow. Like this yellow flower here started to kind of bulk up. I'm hoping it's gonna just sort of take over like the stuff on the side of the house. So yeah, that big stuff back there is phlox, and that thing next to it is a purple cone flower. I don't remember if I tried to plant another one next to it. I don't have very good luck with this bed. Everything in here just seems to not want to stay, so we'll just see how this summer goes. I'm going to plant some things over here from seed too, so it probably won't be, I won't see the results until next year really. And then over here, we have the grapevine, and the grapes are actually getting really big, and I'm surprised none of the birds have actually started eating these yet. I'm hoping maybe that I'm going to get to have some of these grapes this year, because I don't ever get to have them. They're always gone by the time I go to harvest them, so it's kind of really disappointing, but what are you going to do? And here's my strawberry plant. I'm thinking I'm going to get a small laundry basket to probably go over that so that it can kind of spill out over that. I know you don't typically use a tripod for strawberries, and usually I've seen like DIY where you can put a laundry basket over it and pull the leaves through and all the vines and whatever through there. So I'll probably do that in the next few weeks. And get my ornamental grass over here. This thing's usually out of control, but this year I decided I'm going to keep it short. I'm probably going to plant a few other things around the circle here. So that's about it for that. And then let's go over here to this. Oh, and if you watched my last garden update, I had this thing here, and I didn't know if it was a flower or a weed, but I'm pretty sure it was definitely a weed because it just wasn't blooming and the leaves were starting to shrivel up, so I took it out. So eventually I'm going to plant flowers there. I don't know when I'm doing that, pretty soon probably. And then also this weekend I staked my peppers here, and I like to do tripods with those because when they get big, they'll just kind of like stop at the top there, and it will just help to sort of stabilize them. So I'm not sure they're getting enough light over here, but I thought it was a good spot for them because they're so thin, and I needed to rotate everything this year. I still haven't really seen anything with, I don't know how long it takes to start seeing evidence of carrots and green onions. I know the green onions took a while, so I'm just gonna keep watering this. This is my carrots over here. I'm not sure they're growing, but we're just gonna wait and see. And then I've got my 2 green onions over here that I need to trim, and I planted more of those, so we'll see if those come up later on. And then over here I have all of my tomatoes, which I had said previously I was going to probably use dowel rods and make like tripods or a cage, but it was getting late into the season, and I just wanted to get it done, and I also didn't want to go spend a bunch of money on supplies this year, so I just used what I had. So I got a couple of cages for my mom, and then I had some in my garage, and so I just did that with those, and it seems to be working out, so we're just going to go with that this year. And then maybe next year I'll make a cage out of dowel rods. We'll see, because some of these poles will need to be replaced next year. And here's my zucchini. They're getting pretty big. They're starting to flower, so I should be starting to see zucchini pretty soon. So that's about it for all of the plants in the ground. And then the thing I wanted to show you guys over here was I am going to be planting green beans and peas. I still have to plant those, so if you have a small space, you can utilize it, maximize your gardening space by doing container gardening. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that. I know a lot of people do container gardening these days. I bought a bunch of these containers a couple of years ago, and I think when I first bought them, I used them for my peppers, and I think that was it. Maybe tomatoes. I did like cherry tomatoes in there. So what I like to do is use the tripods and the containers, and I'm going to plant peas in one of these. I'm going to plant green beans in the other two. And the great thing about container gardening is that you can move these. They're mobile. I mean, you don't like if you have a small space, you can do like gardening on your balcony. You can do it if you have just a small backyard, like just a patio space. So it's great for that. The accessibility factor is great for that. You can you can start your container gardening at any time if you put the right kind of. I was reading an article and they said that if you put, it might have been a plastic bag, but it will serve as a greenhouse. So you can make a mini greenhouse, and that means that you can do cold weather gardening, which is cool. I've never tried that, but I've thought about doing that, so that might be something that I try to do for the winter. We'll see. It's also ideal for beginners because there's less weeding involved. There's less pests and diseases that you have to worry about, and it's portable, so you can just move it where you need to. So it's great for beginners, and it's also great for indoor gardening. You can take it indoors or you can take it outdoors, and it works well either way. Also, you don't have to till your dirt, which is nice because, let me tell you, tilling dirt, it's so time consuming and it's exhausting. So if you're not into that, container gardening is like perfect for you. You'll also save on water. In-ground gardening takes a lot more water. It takes more water to reach the roots because of how the water sits on the surface. So when you container garden, all the water gets absorbed into the container, into the roots of the plant. So I want to say that was it for my tips. Maybe you know those if you do container gardening, or if you're new and you don't know, hopefully that was a little helpful. I'm going to try to come up with more gardening tips for you guys. I am not an expert, but I have been gardening for quite some time. I would still consider myself to be pretty new. I've had a vegetable garden I think I've done a vegetable garden for roughly about 7-ish years. So I haven't planted these yet, but I will, and then I'll make an update about those when they start, when I can start to see, the beans and the peas pop through the soil there. So I'm going to do that soon. But so container gardening is great. I want to say that I got these containers at Lowe's, I think, and I don't think they were very much, maybe like less than $10 a piece. I think there's just so many benefits to it, especially if you're a new gardener. It will kind of help you to get the experience that you need if you're not ready to like make the leap to, doing this sort of like in-ground gardening. So yeah, that's about it. If you want to leave a comment and let me know what you're doing with your yard this summer, I would love to hear about that, or what you're growing, or if you have any tips that you want me to know about. I welcome that. Feel free to leave a comment. So I guess that's about it. I'm going to try to make some more videos this week, and I'd like to get on a more consistent schedule. I'm just kind of really new to this and sort of just kind of feeling things out. So thank you to the people who have subscribed. I don't have very many subscribers right now, but thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching my videos. It means a lot. Hopefully I'll be able to start making more content and getting on a more consistent schedule. If there's something specific you'd like me to make a video on, please let me know. I love gardening, I love DIY projects, arts and crafts, anything like that. I'm also I like to do a little ASMR because I think we could all use some relaxation. This world is so stressful as it is, so anything that we can do to make things a little bit easier, I think, helps. So if I can help people with that, I'd like to do that. So yeah, I guess that's about it. And I guess I'll just see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.